Since its occurrence on November 24, 1971, the hijacking of the Boeing 727 by the man known as D.B. Cooper has remained the only unsolved plane jacking in U.S. history. At the center of this mystery is a new witness, Marla Wayne Cooper. Marla has become a polarizing figure because many want to believe her story, and many do not. Unfortunately for those who do not, the FBI, after putting Marla through months of interrogation, which included a polygraph, announced publicly in August of 2010 that Marla is the most credible witness to come forward since the case went cold. This is my interview with the woman who claims to be the niece of D.B. Cooper. Marla, thank you for agreeing to be interviewed today. I have a couple questions, so let's get started.
Okay.
When did the memories come back, and what do you think triggered them?
I was going through a really painful divorce. Actually, it was when the memories resurfaced, it was about 3 days after my divorce was final. And actually, I was also going through a painful divorce 13 years earlier when my father made mention of the hijacking, and I just didn't take him very seriously. But in 2009, when my mother said something at her birthday party, suddenly, within a few days, I was flooded with memories of that part of my life.
Did you believe at the time that your uncle had been in a car crash, or did you suspect something else?
I never believed he was in a car crash.
What did you think had happened to him?
Well, when they appeared on the driveway on Thanksgiving morning, I really wasn't sure what happened to them. But then, a few minutes later, I heard them talking to my dad, and they told him, Dewey told him that they'd hijacked an airplane. And, I just imagined that LD probably got hung up in trees or something like that. I realized that he'd been hurt in an accident involving a parachute.
What do you think inspired your uncle to do it?
I thought that probably he was just crazy, desperate for money, something like that. But as I've gone through the investigation and learning a lot of things about the case and the times and the seasons and other things about the history of my two uncles, I really think that it was that there was a force bigger than the two of them that had plotted the hijacking.
I have a couple screenshots of people doubting you on internet forums and all these things because you are a very controversial character. So I would like to read you what some of these people have said and see what your rebuttal would be.
Okay.
She researched the Cooper case through the FBI website, Wiki, DropZone, and other sources, then made a conscious effort to fit her uncle into the case. Motive? Media darling, celebrity, possible high-advantage book contract, movie rights, and/or television fees. 2 of these goals have been achieved. The third is being worked out now. The last one would naturally follow the third.
I was completely unfamiliar with the D.B. Cooper case. When my mother mentioned it, my sister mentioned it. I did read a Wikipedia article the night that I heard about who my uncle was and how famous this hijacking was. And I did look at the FBI website, but to study them thoroughly, I absolutely did not. In fact, I didn't even know about the DropZone website until it was last winter, after almost 3 years of being involved in the case.
Since the DNA taken from Marla's sister for the test against the Ty DNA came up negative, the Seattle FBI has gone totally silent on Marla. This either means they are still investigating LD, or they know they were had. Take your pick.
Is that really what one of your things says? From my sister? There was no DNA taken from my sister. It's absolutely false.
Do you think that your uncle actually did it?
Oh, I know that he did it.
In 1980, $2,800 were found near Vancouver, Washington by the Columbia River. It is the only known money to surface from the hijacking. Shortly after the hijacking, L.D. Cooper moved to Arizona and got married to an FBI agent. He died in 1999.